Welcome to the channel, everyone. I'm Skratch. This is another Warcraft Rumble video. Today, I want to talk about the top 15 best minis in the entire game. PvE, PvP, we're combining that together and we are creating the ultimate list, guys. Very curious to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. First, I just want to say a big thank you to Warcraft Rumble for sponsoring today's video. If you guys want to download the game, you can click on the link in the description down below or in the pinned comment and come and try it out. Tons of fun. As I mentioned, top 15 best minis, guys. Now, I'm not going to rank them from number 1 to 15 because I do think that is conditional, depends whether you're using them, and they're all amazing, right? Now, I have a list on the side just to make sure I'm keeping them all on the list and I'm not forgetting anyone. So I'm going to start with the Griffin Rider, guys. Absolutely amazing mini. 2 gold cost, flying unit, tons of damage, and very, very effective, especially with the Mighty Throw, which gives you 3 extra range. A sky-riding flyer that throws Mighty Dwarf's hammers at aerial and ground troops alike. So that's actually pretty nice. The main thing is having the big range, which can give you the upper hand versus other flying units, especially Harpies, Batlings, etc., that are moving really, really fast towards you, and it's not an AoE damage, right? The good thing is a cycle unit, so it does fit in those slots. Now, in terms of talents, as I mentioned, you have a couple of different ones. You have Odin's Fury, and you have the airdrop. The airdrop is not a bad one either, to be honest. I feel like I bought the Mighty Throw at the very beginning, and I got stuck with it, you know, and I never looked to buy a different one. Well, I'm pretty satisfied with the Mighty Throw, to be honest. So, the Griffin Rider is 100% in the top 15 best minis in the entire game. Then, of course, we cannot forget about the Safe Pilot. Unbound units, you guys know the drill. The unbound units are very, very effective, giving you the ability to deploy them wherever you guys want on the map. And not only that, but the Safe Pilot will basically drop in an AoE damage in the area where you deploy the unit, and if they have some units in there will get damaged, sometimes even killed, right? It really depends what units you're attacking, and you can play it in a much better way. You have a couple of different interesting talents. So you have Coming in Hot, deploys twice as fast and burns nearby enemies, but deals 33% less crash damage. So I feel like Coming in Hot is just something that I don't like, okay? Just for that simple fact. You have the Gnomish Mutanizer, polymorphs the first blaster target. Yeah, not the worst thing, right? Not the worst thing. My favorite is the cloaking device. I can actually stay stealth after if I'm killing the enemies. I can just move on and get a hit, especially when I'm deploying it versus a tower, for example. That tower won't see me till I actually start shooting. So that's actually pretty good. Then, moving on to the next mini, guys, that we have on the list. And I promise you, I'm not going to talk only about unbound units, even though it might sound like it. We have the Quill Bo on the list. This right here, most likely, is going to be my very first legendary unit. I'm still missing 8 more stars. Once I'm done with that, I have the materials to basically get it done. I have a few legendary cores. I have tons of Arc-like energy just waiting for me to do it, basically. So I really think I'm going to do the Quill Bo as the main, as the first legendary unit. Very good tank at the cost of 2 gold, guys. You can deploy it wherever you guys want, right? And it deals damage when you're actually dropping him in hot, especially with the right talent. So you have the Bramble Burst, which will inflict poison. You have, of course, the Bristleback, deals a small amount of damage to melee attackers. And you have Tunnel Vision, deploys much more quickly. He is pretty slow till he gets up on the ground and moves around and all that. But once he starts kicking, he's actually doing a pretty good job at tanking as well. I feel like he's really enabling a lot of strategies, especially when you're going in PvP versus Dragon Towers, Rocket Towers, to basically distract the towers, or even when you need to distract some enemies. So the Quill Bo, absolutely amazing, guys. Then we have the Bandits. Now, the Bandits are not an unbound unit, but they are one of the best minis in the entire game. 1 gold cost, which is massive. You're deploying 2 bandits at the same time, and they can actually stun the enemies. That's what I like the most about the bandits, guys. Having the ability to stun and their stealth as well when you deploy them. So nobody will see them coming, right? Flying units, etc. Then when we are talking about talents, you're going to have Deadly Poison. You have Pick Lock, earns an extra 2 gold when opening chests. And Last Resort. On that, stuns the target for 3 seconds. That's another thing that I really, really like. I bought the Deadly Poison ages ago because it deals pretty good damage, right? But Last Resort, I think it would be the better option in my opinion, especially for PvP, right? Having that crowd control is pretty much everything. Now, they're not going to do crazy damage or anything like that. It's a cycle mini, squad, as I mentioned, melee. Flying units will absolutely obliterate them. Medium speed, which is good. And honestly, they are really, really solid all around as a mini. The next one, guys, is going to be a spell this time around. And even though I'm not using this spell non-stop, is very, very effective. And I'm talking about the Execute spell. Very powerful in raids, guys. Very powerful in a lot of the high-end content where you need to basically stay alive and then deal damage somehow, and you're struggling to reach the target. Execute will be massive, right? So you're basically going to have a pretty good radius at it, and you're going to deal a good chunk of damage. Now, it really depends what you're attacking. If we're talking about bosses and stuff, you're not going to absolutely one-shot them, two-shot them, three-shot them, etc. But it will put in some work. Savagely slices through enemies, chopping off half of their maximum health in one swipe. So, as I mentioned, it's not going to be the case for every single enemy that you're encountering. At the cost of 3 gold, I think this is massive. Now, I don't have a talent on it personally. Overpower is great versus waves of enemies because you can knock them back. Killing Spree, if an enemy is killed, the next Horde mini costs 1 less gold. Or you have Bloodlust. So, this is pretty nice as well when you have allies around the area where you're planning to use the spell. Give them Bloodlust for 10 seconds. Can literally turn around the fight, you know. So, Execute, an amazing, amazing spell. Then, moving over to the next mini that we have on the list, guys. Let me just quickly find my axe, the Whelp axe, pardon me. Another Unbound mini. And yes, very, very powerful as well. At the cost of 3 gold, basically, you're going to deploy the axe. The axe will hatch when they get attacked. And you're going to have the whelps flying out and deal damage. Now, there are some interesting talents for this one, right? You have a couple of different ones. You have the chromatic plating, where you can actually taunt when you're putting in the axe, which is nice. You have the flame burst, damage nearby enemies when hatching. I feel like this is the best out of all of them, to be honest. Rookery is not bad either. In a lot of cases, if you have, for example, a troll coming your way, is basically going to hit one of the eggs, is going to hatch, then it's going to kill the whelp, then it's going to move to the next egg. So having Rookery will instantly spawn them all out and basically, most likely, deal with the target. So that's actually a pretty good one. They are moving fairly decent-ish, I would say. Elemental damage as well, medium fast speed. Pretty good damage and health as well, though. The range is not the best on them, but hey, you cannot have everything perfect. And even as they are very, very effective, right? Then, moving over to the next one, guys. Because we are talking about flying units and all that, we gotta talk about the Harpies. Very effective. Like, they take down targets so freaking quick. And at the moment, I have a talent that basically makes them farm gold as well. So that's why they are at a slightly higher cost. They cost 4 gold when they're normally costing 3 gold. A lot of damage. As you guys may notice, they're very fast on the map as well. And you're spawning 3 of them at the same time. Now, in terms of talents, this time around, I have them all. You have the Infectious Swipes, you're gaining poison. Trinket Collectors, you're gaining the gold. Or Talent Dive, deals double damage on the first attack. That can be very nice too, but for PvP, I feel like the best one is definitely the Trinket Collectors, because it will allow you to collect the gold as well, so you don't have to worry about using different minis that need to farm the gold, or if by any chance your miner will get killed or stuff like that, right? So they definitely allow you to get the work done. Now, because we're talking about flying units, they need to have some form of a counter, right? And I feel like One of the best one is the Troll. Of course, we're going to move to a different one in a second, which can actually be much better versus these specific units. But for the moment, let's talk about the Troll. Good range, deals very, very good damage. Single target damage, right? 9 range, medium speed. Look at the damage, 1,875. What I like the most about this mini, though, is the talent. So, as you may notice, you have Big Bad Voodoo. That's my most favorite talent on him. Regenerates 20% health every second. He can literally take towers down on his own if they're not other minis attacking him. Head Hunting. On kill increases attack and movement speed by 10, stacking up to 50. Or you have the Serpent Sting, which will give him poison. But without a doubt, Big Bad Voodoo is the way to go, guys. Then, moving over to the next mini that we have on the list, and this is going to be the Huntress. Very, very amazing mini as well, guys. So much damage, so effective versus squad minis, right? And just in general. Comes in stealth, right? If you're gaining the right talent on her as well. But we're going to get to that in a second. Fast, range, AoE. It can attack whatever units you guys might want. The ambush is pretty badass on her. Good health. Not the craziest amount of damage comparing her with the Troll, right? Because she's not hitting only one target. But very, very effective. 7.5 range. Talking about talents. You do have a couple of different options. And I feel like the best one for her, to be honest, is Darnesian Steel. Glaive bounces an additional 3 times. So you're going to hit more enemies with that. I really think that is the best in my opinion. Alvan Might deals 50% additional damage to the initial target. And you have Shadow Weld, which gains stealth and ambush, which can be very, very good as well. That's what I'm running on her at the moment, actually. Yes, that's what I have on her at the moment. Very amazing mini, effective in PvP, effective in PvE, all around. All around. That's what I said. We're going to do a list that's good all around. We're not going to focus only on PvP or PvE, guys. All around. And let's see which are the best. Then, the next mini that I have on my list, guys, is actually going to be the Pyromancer. Now, I know I've mentioned that we will have a better unit to deal with the squad flying units than the Troll, and that's the Pyromancer. One hit, they go to sleep. Literally, the damage is just absolutely insane. Is not the tankiest unit, not the fastest unit, but the AoE elemental damage is just beautiful. Fireworks, that's exactly what she does. At the cost of 3 gold, range AoE elemental, 8 range, very, very good. 1.5 speed in terms of attack speed, right? Not too shabby. And in terms of talents, you have the Pyroblast, deals triple damage on the first attack. That can be massive, right? A massive hit on the enemies, one-shot them without a doubt. Then you have a Conflagrate. Splash area is double. That's a good one as well, because if they're spread around too much and you're not able to take them all down, that can be effective. But to be honest, Pyroblast is just too good. And Blaze of Glory, damage and burn nearby enemies on that. Pyroblast and Conflagrate is the way to go, guys. Then, moving over to the next one that we have on the list, guys, and that is the Frostwolf. Another amazing, amazing unit, guys, and probably you guys know it. If you are using the Frostwolf, very, very effective. Now, you do have a couple of different strats on how you can use this one. So, this is a range unit, and it will heal your troops and deal elemental damage at the same time. So, a single target, good speed, stats overall, is not going to deal insane damage or anything like that, but not bad damage either, right? Now, as I mentioned, there are different ways on how you can play around with her. So, what I like about her a lot is the Earth Wall Totem. If we're playing PvP, and by any chance, I have a much stronger opponent that will get to damage my towers, I can heal the tower when I'm deploying her with this talent. Once per deploy, place a totem that partially heals a nearby tower or base. Amazing. Then, of course, you have Lightning Mastery, range attack chains to 3 nearby targets. That can be very, very good as well. And you have the Earth Shield, grant armor to a nearby ally. The ability has only 1 charge. I feel like that's the weakest talent out of all 3 of them. The Shaman, very, very amazing. And because we are talking about range units again, let's bring in the Witch Doctor, right? Very, very solid as well. The cost of 2 gold. I love cheap units, guys. I feel like they're 100% amazing because you can just deploy them non-stop. I know they're not the tankiest, they're not dealing the craziest damage, but when you're just spamming them non-stop on the map, trust me, it will work much, much better. So this is a cycle support caster. Channels an explosive curse on an enemy, helping allies take out multiple foes. So they're gonna make a bit of a boom after, and it takes a bit of time to deal big damage versus the enemies, right? It's not the craziest damage, but if they're not getting close to him instantly to kill him, he will put in some serious, serious work. So you do need a bit of protection for him, right? Range, elemental, cycle, AoE damage, which is the beauty of it. 8 range, very, very good as well. Talents, you have Alchemist, periodically drops a potion granting bloodlust to the first ally who touches it. Is okay. You have Amplify Curse. Enemies killed by the curse explosion also explode as well, making an even bigger boom. Then you have the Spirit Ward. On kill grants a shield to nearby allies, absorbing the next hit against them. These 2 bottom talents are the best, in my opinion, for the Witch Doctor. Then, I do want to talk about the Blizzard spell. Without a doubt, my most favorite spell in the game, and that's because it gives you so much control. Yes, you can deal some damage as well, rain down frost shards from the sky, slow and deals elemental damage to all enemies in a large area. This is, again, an elemental spell, AoE, pretty good range as well, lasts for 5 seconds, and if you're bringing in the right talent, the Cold Snap will freeze the enemy troops into place. So that means that they're not going to escape out of the spell and survive. They'll get stuck, and of course, most likely you're going to kill them if they're not tanks. You have Ice Crown, which summons an additional Blizzard at your base. I'm not a big fan of this, to be honest, because if I'm trying to use the spell, basically stop the enemies that are far away, I don't really care so much about my base. In some cases, it can 100% be good, don't get me wrong. And then you have Brittle Ice. Enemies within take 30% additional damage from physical sources. So again, you need to have allies in there to put in the work. That's why Cold Snap, in my opinion, simple, classy, gets the job done. Then, moving over to the next mini that we have on the list, guys. Let me just quickly find her. Of course, is the Stonehoof Tauren. Very, very good tank as well. I like that it just instantly charges to an enemy. You can stun that enemy, which is very, very helpful. I know I'm always talking about crowd control, but it is what it is. And she deals good damage. She has very good survivability. She's not necessarily moving extremely fast, medium speed, but look at the health. Look at the damage versus the health. So she's definitely performing really, really well. At the cost of 4 gold, definitely one of the best tanks in the game out of all of the minis. Now, in terms of talents, you have Pummel, which has a chance to connect a stun. You have Momentum, which has a chance to connect a second charge immediately after the first one, if she can still do it, if it's possible, if you have another enemy in close proximity. And you have Provoke. After connecting a charge, taunt nearby enemies. So this is helpful to help and protect different allies that might be caught in an ambush, right? You can quickly provoke the rest of the enemies and make them pay attention to you, right? Not a bad talent whatsoever, but she's definitely a pretty solid one. And we are at our final mini, guys. Now we have tons and tons of minis in the game at the moment. And to be honest with you guys, I feel like there is one that, in my opinion, is really, really effective. And maybe you're not really gonna see this mini on all of the tier lists and stuff. And I'm gonna just give it to you based on my own experience. I've played this mini since the very beginning. Maybe just grow on me. But the Fire Elemental tank is absolutely amazing. Yes, it's not necessarily going to be the best unit versus raids, versus PvP, but he can do a lot of work. And the reason for it, guys, he's resistant to elemental damage. What I like about him is that he has AoE damage, okay? And very good stats as well. Like, look at the stats. Not as much HP as the previous mini that I showed you, but hey, still not bad. And with the right talent, with the Immolation Aura, periodically deals damage to nearby enemies. So when you have squads of enemies coming your way, guys, they might get melted before they even reach the fire elemental tank. You have Molten Core, which can be okay with a pool of lava, right? Fan the Flames, taking elemental damage increases damage dealt by 10%, stacking up to 30. But I'm not falling for it. Immolation Aura is the way to go, guys. This is my top 15 best minis in the entire game. Now, I think I forgot to mention at the beginning, but we are not including leaders in the minis list. Leaders are completely different creatures of darkness, right? So we're going to focus on the minis. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. As usual, appreciate all of you watching. Much love, and thanks again to Warcraft Rumble for sponsoring this video. I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.